In this video, we are going to recap a movie called After the Dark. Spoilers ahead. In the opening scenes, we meet James, a college student rushing to avoid being late for his philosophy class. As he enters the classroom, we discover the group is engaged in discussing various mental experiments with their instructor. One intriguing topic involves a monkey randomly typing Hamlet word for word. As this group of students nears the end of their college journey, Mr. Zimmett, the philosophy professor, presents them with a final exam in the form of a challenging mental experiment. The professor sets the stage, explaining that due to an impending nuclear catastrophe, the students must decide who is worthy of a spot in an underground bunker designed for only 10 people. Despite having 21 participants minus 20 students and one teacher, solving the problem is complicated. While the bunker can handle 10 individuals for sleeping and eating, the oxygen supply is limited. Facing the harsh reality of a mushroom-clouded world, the group must confront the difficult task of determining who deserves to live and who must face the inevitable consequences. Adding an extra layer of complexity, each student possesses unique skills and problems. The professor initiates the experiment by having students draw leaves from a box, each with a profession written on it. However, as the roles are revealed, the professor discreetly eliminates a poet, emphasizing the stark reality that some talents have no place in a dying world. Over time, the group voted and picked a farmer, civil engineer, electrician, doctor, senator, soldier, psychotherapist, carpenter, and chemist. The professor promised to reveal his specialty later. They chose Mr. Zimmett for the last spot, thinking his skills were more useful than those of an opera singer. The group decided to spend some time apart before being together in the bunker for a year. Suddenly, gunshots rang out, and they discovered the professor had removed unqualified students, saving them from radiation exposure. The students escaped the bunker, closing the doors on the professor. Petra, a civil engineer, couldn't sleep and found a teacher outside with burns. A man with the door code appeared, and though students feared a trap, they chose to spend a year in the bunker before testing its truth. Petra checked the door daily. Days passed, and the students faced the looming moment of knowing if they made a life-threatening mistake. After a year, they tried to leave, but the students find out that Mr. Zimmett was not lying to them. He told them the truth about the bunker and the end of the world. They need a code to open the door and get out of the bunker, but they don't know the code. They try to break the door with different things. They use guns, metal bars, and digging tools, but nothing works. The door is too strong. They are trapped inside. They start to run out of food. They are very hungry. They have to eat the dead body of the electrician who is working in the bunker. They feel sick and scared. Some of them can't take it anymore. They shoot themselves with the guns. They don't want to die slowly and painfully. They want to end their suffering quickly. But the others still have some hope. They think maybe someone will come and save them. Maybe someone will tell them the code. But no one comes. No one tells them anything. The bunker becomes very quiet. The air becomes very thin. They can't breathe properly. They suffocate and die. This is how the first experiment ends. Mr. Zimmett talks about the results of the experiment with his students. He tells them a secret about himself. He is the one who made the bunker. He is the one who put the code on the door. He wanted to test his students and see how they would survive in a disaster situation. He says they should try again and do better this time. He says they should learn from their mistakes and choose wisely who will go to the bunker. He says they should think about their skills, their qualities, and their data. He starts a new experiment near a big mountain called Mount Brahma. The situation is more difficult now because there are more things to consider when choosing who will go to the bunker. The bunker has room for 15 people this time. There are different kinds of people who can go there. A farmer who likes men, a person who can build things, a person who knows about electricity, a person who knows about chemistry and has good genes, a person who has a lot of gold, a person who can make furniture, a person who can sell things, a person who can deliver babies, a person who makes laws, a person who defends people in court, a person who fights in wars and has a good memory, a person who owns land, and a person who does hard work. The last spot in the bunker is for Mr. Zimmett again. The students who don't get to go to the bunker have to drive away in their cars and hope they can escape from the bombs that are falling from the sky. But one bomb lands near their car and explodes. It destroys everything around it. The 9 students who got into the bunker and Mr. Zimmett run to the bunker as fast as they can. They hope they will be safe there until the world is safe again. At night, Patrick can't sleep. Again, and wandering around the bunker, she sees James the farmer and Jack the chemist together. The students decide to pair up in order to conceive as soon as possible. Petra chooses Mrs. Zimmett as her mate because James cannot be with her because of his orientation. Some time passes, but neither girl gets pregnant. Mr. Zimmett suggests that the girls change partners to increase the chance of success. A girl named Bonnie does not like the new rules that Mr. Zimmett makes. She tells him that she does not agree with him. Mr. Zimmett goes away and comes back with a gun. He tells all the students to leave the room except Bonnie. He tells Bonnie that she has to choose. She can either follow the new rules or she will be out of the experiment. Jack was hiding in the room when Mr. Zimmett came back with the gun. He attacks Mr. Zimmett and takes the gun from him. They fight and Jack hurts Mr. Zimmett badly. Mr. Zimmett leaves the room and goes to the bunker exit. The students follow him and see him next to the door and the control panel. He starts to type the code to open the door. Bonnie runs to him, but she is too late. Mr. Zimmett opens the door and the second experiment fails. James asks Mr. Zimmett why he coughed when he and Petra got their papers. He runs to Mr. Zimmett's desk and takes a box. He looks inside the box and sees something strange. The box has 3 layers and there are many papers inside it. There are many papers with a gay farmer and a civil engineer on them. And there are other papers on top of them. James thinks that Mr. Zimmett wanted to make fun of him by making him a gay farmer. But Mr. Zimmett says that James is wrong. He says that James is like a man in a cave who only believes in his own world and his own dreams. James still thinks that Mr. Zimmett had a reason for choosing his job and his identity. James wants to do another experiment. All the other students say no except Petra. Mr. Zimmett agrees to do it, but he says that James has to be a florist now. The new experiment puts the group on an island with no people on it. Mr. Zimmett says that he has to check the bunker and he hides a big gun there. He takes a small gun with him. He sits by the water and Petra comes to him. She asks him if she can make her own rules for the experiment this time. She says that she will pick who will go to the bunker. Petra picks the people who were not allowed to go to the bunker last time. Mr. Zimmett does not like Petra's choice, and he tells them to go away from the bunker. But they do not listen to him. He tries to get his gun, but he can't find it. Petra took his gun when he did not see her. She gives him the gun and 2 bullets. James saw where Mr. Zimmett hid the big gun, and he took it. He points it at Mr. Zimmett and tells him to go away. Mr. Zimmett says that the students can't open the bunker without his code. But Bonnie knows the code. She saw it when he opened the door before. She has a good memory and she remembers the code. She tells the code to everyone. There is one more place in the bunker and Petra asks Bonnie to take it. But Bonnie says no. Then Petra picks Chips, the carpenter. But Chips tricks Petra and pushes her into the bunker. He closes the doors from outside. Chips takes the other students with him, and they go on a boat to another island. They can live there. Petra, James, and the other students live in the bunker for a year. They have fun playing games, listening to poems, and acting in plays. The year in the bunker is over, and Petra opens the doors. They see that the island is still okay. There was no war here. The students are happy, and they live well on the island. They don't need a carpenter, a midwife, a senator, or anyone else to make a good life. But then they see a bomb on the island. James wants to make it explode, but Mr. Zimmett comes out and stops him. He shoots at him with his gun. He says that he has been living in the rocks for a year. He did not know what time it was until he heard the students talking. He wants to shoot James, but the students help their friend. James pushes the button on the bomb, and the experiment is over. Chips tells his own story. He says that he did another experiment with his group. He took them to another island. All the men in his group died by accident. Chips is young, and he can have children. He uses his carpenter skills and makes a nice place for himself. He has many girls with him, and he is happy. Everyone laughs. The students give their books back and leave, but Petra stays in the room. She closes the office door and goes to the balcony. Petra talks to Mr. Zimmett and calls him Eric. She knows that he made James a gay farmer on purpose. He was jealous of him and wanted to make him feel bad. He wanted to show him where he belongs. Petra says that it was useless because James does not know about Eric and Petra's relationship. She says that she is leaving with James to another city. Eric asks her to stay with him, but she says no. She kisses him goodbye and leaves. The end of the story is not clear. We see two things happen. One is that Eric keeps working and teaching. The other is that he looks at his gun